planet Colmar. Ambient temperature 45.60 degrees. Local time is 19:34:23 GST. All systems nominal. Group fire engaged.
Hello and welcome to the first mission of the Jade Falcon campaign of Mechwarrior 2, Silent Thunder. Our position's already been given away by that recon helicopter, so we'll need to get moving. So over the hill you can see our first primary objective, the HPG station. Yeah, this guy definitely knows we're here. This is our first enemy mech of the game. It's a Clan Wolf Kitfox. It's a 30-ton light mech. Its main weapons are an AC-5 and an ER large laser, which makes it pretty effective at long range. So I like to close in with them as quickly as I can. There we go. Oh, my arm's off. See what I mean about them being effective at long range. Doesn't take too many hits if I'm in trouble.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutdown sequence overridden.
Luckily, losing your arms in Mechwarrior 2 isn't that big of a deal, which is quite good because it happens an awful lot. The arms are the lightest armoured part of your mech, so they tend to get destroyed pretty quickly.
Fire engaged.
I'm using a custom configuration for my Firemoth with 4 ER medium lasers as weapons. I don't tend to use the default configs for mechs much. This is because most of them are lifted directly from the default configs for mechs in the Battletech board game, and they're not very well optimized for use in Mechwarrior 2. Now we're kind of committing a war crime right now. HPG stations are supposed to be off limits as military targets, at least in the inner sphere, because the technology to build them has been lost.
Primary objective.
All those lovely chunks.
Destroy HPG uplink. Successful.
Yeah, they're supposed to be off limits as targets, but the clans haven't lost that technology, so we don't really care about that sort of thing, so we're just going to go ahead and blow it up anyway.
Mask engaged.
Now, our second primary objective is at Nav Beta, which is actually in the other direction. But around this mountain we'll find our first target of opportunity of the game. Now, what does that look like? Yes, it's a nuclear power plant. Apparently the cooling tower has a reactor core in it, which doesn't seem right. Now this thing goes down in not too many hits, which is quite nice, because some of the targets of opportunity have huge numbers of hit points. I was having a bit of an issue here actually hitting these vents. One of the things that Mechwarrior 2 doesn't do very well is hit detection. And so even though I have a clear line of sight to the vent, my lasers are just hitting dirt, apparently, in midair. They're easier to hit if you get right up on top of them, but that's kind of a problem because they tend to explode and damage your mech. Like that. Generally the best approach is to just fire slowly until you actually can see the hit laser impact decal and then pour everything you've got before it goes out of range again.
Target of opportunity destroyed.
There we go. Now targets of opportunity in Mechwarrior 2 are a bit weird. Some of them just can't be, some of the targets of opportunity directives just can't be completed at all. Luckily that's not the case in this mission.
Engaged.
Here's our little 20-ton Firemoth, which is the smallest and lightest mech in the game. It's also the fastest. Normally it has 2 arms raised up above its head there, but as you can see we've lost ours. This isn't really too big of a deal because losing arms happens so much in Mechwarrior 2 that you just have to plan for that eventuality happening. So generally I try to avoid putting anything important in my arms. You can see I didn't lose any weapons or anything too important when they were destroyed. I think I had a couple of heat sinks in there, but that's not too bad. Now if you're using ferrofibrous armor or endo steel internal structure, which just take up critical locations, and you can put them anywhere in the mech, the arms is usually the best place for those, because it doesn't matter if they're destroyed, and the arms have lots of space to store. I'm using Mask on the Firemoth. You can see the little indicator there in the bottom right. So I think it stands for Mimer Acceleration Signal Circuitry. Oh, there we go, it's malfunctioned. That happens from time to time. It's usually not that big of a deal because, as you can see, you can just turn it straight back on and it doesn't have any disadvantages. In the Battletech board game, I think it immobilizes your mech if it fails, but fortunately that doesn't happen. Using Mask just gives you a straight up boost to your speed. Oh, hello there. Nice when you can get the drop in enemies like this. If you can find them before they're powered up, they don't appear on radar, but they won't power up until you attack them, so it gives you a few seconds to get in some free hits, which is nice. This guy seems to be running away. Now the AI will do that, usually if you blow off their arms, because that destroys most of their weapons. And it gives you a pretty clear shot of their legs and their rear armor, which are the weakest parts of the mech. Mechwarrior 2 blowing off a single leg will essentially cripple the mech. They can still torso twist to get a shot on you, but they can't move.
Secondary objective successful.
Secondary objective in most missions is usually to destroy all enemy mechs, so we'll be seeing that one a lot. Off in the distance you can see our ride out of here. That's a Jade Falcon dropship, which we'll be heading to after we finish all of our other objectives. Here's the comm array.
Fire engaged.
It's defended by a couple of turrets, which aren't really that big of a threat because they just have medium lasers. But still, we are in a Firemoth, which doesn't have a whole lot of armor, so I want to take those out as quickly as possible. You can hit I when you've targeted something to inspect it. It usually tells you what's inside. In this case it just says comm relay, which isn't very informative. Here's more issues with the hit detection. This is really kind of a pain. It's not so bad now when there's nothing shooting at me, but some later missions it's a problem when you're getting shot at and you just can't hit the thing that's shooting at you, even though you have a clear line of sight and you should be hitting it. In the bottom right of the screen you can see armor display, HTAL for head, torso, arms and legs. Arms are completely black, they've been destroyed. Torsos are pretty damaged as well. Center and left don't have a whole lot of armor remaining.
Communications array. Successful. Proceed to dust-off zone for extraction.
There we go. We could finish the mission right now, but we've got one more target of opportunity that I want to take care of first.
Mask engaged.
Usually they put targets of opportunity in out-of-the-way areas that aren't on direct paths between nav points, so you do have to search around for them. The second target of opportunity for this mission is a mining complex. Kinda like this thing, it's got the little arm that goes back and forth. It's pretty cool. The display screen in the bottom left is glitching out. It's a pretty good indicator that our sensors have taken a critical hit. I don't think they can actually be destroyed completely in Mechwarrior 2, but it is kind of annoying. You can see even though this thing's been destroyed, it's still blocking my shots.
Target of opportunity destroyed. Tertiary objective successful.
That's what I want to hear. Completing tertiary objectives doesn't get you a whole lot more score, or honour, as it's called in Mechwarrior 2.
Autopilot
But, you know, it's nice to get as much as you can out of each mission. Okay, we've completed all of our objectives, so we can head to our dropship for dust-off. I think we've done pretty well on this mission. We've committed war crimes and blown up a nuclear power plant, caused a massive radiation release. Hope there's no one living around here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for Jade Falcon Mission 2, Arkham Bridge.
Nav Gamma reached. Mission successful.